Senate President Godswill Akpabio says the Senate did not reject electronic transmission of election results, but retained the provision as stated in the 2022 Electoral Act. Now, speaking in Abuja at a book launch, Akpabio explained that while electronic transmission remains allowed, the term real-time was removed from the clause. He said the decision was to give the Independent National Electoral Commission the flexibility to determine the most suitable method of transmitting results, considering technological and security challenges. Now, joining us right now is Professor Simon Nnah, who, of course, joins us to help make sense of Akpabio's narrative. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor. I'd like to ask, if the Senate truly did not reject the electronic transmission, why was the key phrase real-time removed, knowing it was central, especially to preventing post-poll manipulation?
President is being economical with the truth, because some of us watched the proceedings in the Senate. There was a proposal that the word transmission should be replaced with transfer and the real-time removed, which he adopted. And somebody behind was saying, we did not hear, raised up his hand to say, we did not hear what you are saying from the chairman's seat at the Senate President. And he hit the gavel. So coming out to gaslight us as if we are kindergarten pupils, that he did not remove transmission of this is a lie from the pit of hell. See, he is a lawyer, and he knows there's a world of difference between transfer and transmission. There are two different things. Recall that the challenge we have in 2023 was the same issue, because the 2022 Electoral Act, which is referring to now, did say that the INEC should be able to determine what to use in the election. So when INEC said they are going to use real-time transmission of votes, the court said that the INEC pronouncement cannot replace a law. You see, so what all of us expected was that this same on your mandate to stand Senate should have passed that law that transmission of voting real time will be what will happen in 2027. Now, let's put this thing in focus. Some of the argument they are using is that, there are no networks in some villages. And one of the senators that said that, I don't want to mention his state, was interviewed in one television station. And the anchorman was very smart to ask him, if you have POS users in your village, say yes, there are some POS operators. He said, now, is it not the same network that POS operators are using that they're going to use to transmit this? That's one argument. The second argument is that once these things are transmitted from the polling booth, even if it did not deliver, once you get to an area where there's network, it will deliver. So the real time will mean at the time it delivered, and which will not be more than 12 hours. Because from the time you move from the place you transmitted the result to where you have network. So their argument does not hold water. And this Senate has been dragging us back. No. Let's look at the records. Are you aware that from June 2023 to May 2024, the Senate passed only 19 bills, while the House of Reps passed 58 bills? Are you aware that in June 2025, the Senate passed only 96 bills, and the House of Reps passed 273 bills, having a backlog of 146 bills. So what is the Senate actually doing? Are you aware that this same transmission real time has been passed by the House of Reps? So why is the Senate playing ping pong with us? It's not acceptable.
All right, Professor Nnah, I'd like to know also, now, doesn't leaving the method and, of course, the timing of transmission entirely to INEC, that action alone, does that not weaken the safeguards that, the Electoral Act was meant to provide against result tampering?
That's what I just said, because that was the same thing that happened in 2023. And the court said that INEC cannot determine, or what INEC said, or whatever act or law the INEC brings out cannot, override the law in the Constitution. So that's why we expect that the Constitution should be amended to mean live transmission, real-time transmission of electoral votes, rather than all these speaking in tongues that the Senate had started doing this time around.
Now, how can Nigerians reconcile Akpabio's claim of, supporting electronic transmission with the Senate's decision that effectively removed any unforeseeable timeline?
I said it before. He's just been economical with the truth. He knows. He was the person that hit the gavel. He knows what he did. He's just coming out to gaslight us. And, some people have said they are going to occupy the Senate until they do the needful. And I have my 100% support to occupy the Senate until they do the needful. Enough is enough. We can't continue with these shenanigans.
Thank you so much, Professor Nnah, for having this conversation with us.